Hey, welcome to Whit's Way. So, today, my very first episode will be entitled Solutions for Real Estate, Credit, and Financial Freedom. I'm crazy excited to share with you guys all this good stuff that I have planned and laid out for many episodes to come. I'm Jay Whit, and I want to welcome you to my very first episode of Whit's Way. I'm your host, Jay Whitner, better known as Whit. And I'm crazy excited once again that you guys are here. This podcast is part of the Ask Whit platform where we dive deep into real estate credit, financial strategies to help you build the life that you guys want. Again, I want to start off again just to tell you a little bit about myself, who I am, what I've been doing all these years, where I've been, and why I haven't been in your life this long. Well, just to give you an idea, I started this journey many years ago, my wife and I, when I were in college. And I probably had, between my wife and I, we probably had about, give or take, about $60,000 in credit card debt. We didn't know anything about credit. We didn't have a clue. Wasn't planning on finishing college with home ownership because I didn't know anything about that either. All this stuff was kind of new to me. So I want you guys to know, after all of that, we got married in 1990. It is 2024. We've actually been married for this coming August for 35 years. I'm 59 years old. I have three amazing adult children. My firstborn, he's married to his amazing wife. My secondborn, he's a law student in college. And my daughter just graduated a couple weeks ago. And I didn't want to get this thing started until after she graduated because I wanted to give her my undivided attention. Okay, so now, without further ado, I want to talk with you guys about solutions for real estate credit and financial freedom. But again, just to let you guys know, 35 years later, our third home, we are blessed beyond measure because I understood real estate and I understood credit. I had to go through the fire. We both did. And we go through it periodically being self-employed because I haven't had a check in many years. But that can only happen with the education and the knowledge of credit. So let's get started, okay? Today, I'm going to cover these three topics: pre-foreclosure, problems and solutions, debt settlement strategies, the importance of credit restoration. So what I need you guys to do is I need you to grab a notebook so you could get full understanding, even though you're going to go ahead and record this episode and keep it for your future reference. There might be a couple things that you can use right now. And again, this is just some small tidbit. So this is nothing major. This is just a little portion of what we're going to be discussing in the future. So segment one, pre-foreclosure, problems and solutions. I want to start off with pre-foreclosure because there's a lot of people in our country struggling with that right now. My company is, I'm under the umbrella of Ask Whit, but Whitner Realty, I am a broker, real estate investor, and real estate mentor in the beautiful city, Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. So if you're ever in Charlotte, you can always swing by. If you need any assistance, as you listen on, you'll understand the magnitude of what I've learned through the years, and I look forward to being able to give you guys a hand. Those individuals that are struggling with pre-foreclosures right now, you might be pretty surprised because homeowners sometimes, they think that they're stuck when they're in foreclosure. They think when they're falling behind that there's no answer. Or a lot of times they're kind of thinking, well, I can't really talk to the mortgage company because all they want is the money. And they're not willing to negotiate. They're not willing to talk to me. And the person is crazy overwhelmed with letters from the bank. They're stressed about losing their home and sometimes even afraid to ask anyone for help. They don't even want to get judged. I mean, I've had you guys, I can't begin to tell you how I've had individuals call me that were 3, 4, and 5 years behind on their mortgage. They've actually had already done 3 to 4 loan modifications. If you don't know what that is, we're definitely going to talk about that in the future. But that's where the bank will take your delinquency, put it on another loan on top of the one you already have, let you start from scratch, put some fees in there, and then your payment might go up a little bit. But here you go, you're getting that done. And next thing you know, a year later, you're doing another modification. A year after that, you're doing another modification. So we're finding that the modification is not the answer, right? And these individuals are stressed. So sometimes, as I mentioned to you guys, because they don't want to get judged, they just keep going through the motions without really having a strategy, without really being able to solve the problem. Okay. So if you know, or if you're in a situation where you've talked with someone or you understand that you might need our advice on talking about it, don't wait until the bank has a court hearing. Don't wait until the bank has a sale date. You need to talk to a professional, whether that professional is me, because I've been there and done that, or maybe someone else that you can explore the options with. Because foreclosure is not the end of the road. There are solutions out there. And I'm going to give you one of those solutions. For example, I might receive a phone call from someone who is a week before their foreclosure is actually taking place. And they're asking me to buy their home, or they're asking me to keep them from foreclosing. The average person in this country would probably say to themselves, it's too late. There's nothing that can be done. There's no way that I can call somebody and they can stop this foreclosure right now. Well, you guys, it might not be the ideal situation, but there's something called a subject to. You can write this down and you can thank me later. A subject to is where someone like myself, if I'm the buyer, or someone else that I might find that's a buyer, because again, after 20 plus years, I have access to all the buyers throughout the country down to the zip code that are willing to buy properties in that area or in your area. So again, you don't know all the options because you've never gone through this before. So you might not know the solutions. You might not have a clue of all the opportunities that are available to you. And that's why I'm here and you can ask Whit. So with that subject to you guys, we're talking about someone allowing us to take over the home, take over the payments, bring the payments current, and then that person can get the equity that they need to move forward in their life, and we give them some time to move. How many people have the ability to close on a loan and stay in the property for a little time to get themselves right and get themselves in a position to be able to move out of that home? Very seldom, very seldom. Again, most people think they don't have any answers. And that's just one way out of 1,000, you guys. But we'll talk about that later. This is just my intro, okay? Segment number 2, debt settlement. Now, let's talk. Something about debt settlement just kind of rubs people the wrong way, right? Debt settlement really goes hand in hand with financial struggles. Okay? Debt, whether it's credit card, medical bills, you guys, personal loan, debt can feel like a mountain that you have to climb. And I literally mean a mountain. But the truth is, most of your creditors, they feel the same way about your debt. They don't want you to have it. They don't want to have it. They don't want you to be late. Just like you don't want to be late, they're willing to negotiate. You didn't know that. So all you have to do is approach the creditor different than you thought you could approach them. Communicate with them in a different way. And that's why I created AskWhit.com, because AskWhit.com has the resources, powerful information. Again, we'll talk about that later. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk to you guys about 2 quick tips for debt negotiation. Okay. Start with the smaller debt, because again, this is our segment number 3. Start with the smaller debt. If you can knock out the few smaller balances first, it gives you momentum, right? And you can be confident, you could get hyped, you can get excited, and you could start tackling the larger debt, the debt that's been stressing you out more than anything. Sometimes you can call the creditor just in case you might have some money sitting somewhere that you're like, oh, I can't get access to this, or I don't want it, or I don't want to bother my 401k or my IRA. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I do play one on TV, but not right now. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do. You can't hold me accountable. All of this is just information. You can take it for what it's worth. You can call me, ask me additional information, but I am not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing with you the things that I've gone through in my life to help you get in a better situation. Again, lump sum. You can offer settlement on less than what you owe. The creditors probably prefer you to settle versus not getting any money at all. Remember, you guys, the number one key to everything I just talked to you guys about is talking, communication. Don't ignore the calls. Another tidbit, you can stop all the calls by saying cease and desist. That's all you have to say. But are you really settling the debt by saying cease and desist? Are you really avoiding the inevitable by stopping them from calling you? Yes, you're stopping them from calling you, but they're still going to go after the debt in a lot of different ways. So again, I'm just telling you how to stop the calls. And also, I'm letting you know that you need to be able to communicate with the creditors. You need to have a conversation. And we have enough information, enough education out there for you to be able to do that on your own. Segment number 3, as we just talked about, the power of credit restoration. Even though I told you that negotiating the debt was part of segment number 2, and I may have told you that it's segment number 3, because again, the power of credit restoration comes with debt settlement. Because I got to talk to you guys about credit restoration, because credit impacts every single thing we do, from buying a home, starting a business. Your credit scores is like a report card for your financial life. I mean, literally, you guys remember when you were in high school, stressing out about what grades you were going to get when you were in college, stressing out about the report cards? Or if you're stressing out about the debt, and that is your financial report card, your credit, and reestablishing your credit, then you have to do something about it, just like you had to do something about your grades. You had to do the same thing. And one of the most steps in restoring your credit is knowing what's on it, first of all. So you got to go to Credit Karma, you guys. It's free. You go to Credit Karma, it's free. You go to annualcreditreport.com. You can get one free every year. You'll pull your credit. You'll look at all the mistakes, all the errors, all the inaccuracies, and believe it or not, mistakes happen all the time. So you can contact the credit reporting agencies. Again, this powerful stuff, I don't even have time to talk about it today, but you can contact the credit agencies, tell them, get that stuff off my credit. It shouldn't be there. The date is wrong. The amount is wrong. The creditor is wrong. There's a lot of things that you can tell them, but the only way you're going to know how to say it is to talk about it, read it, study. And this is your information, so you should be the expert, and you shouldn't leave it to anyone else. Now, another tip in building positive credit is you got to get a secure credit card, right? We'll talk about it later. Just remember that. Jot it down. Or maybe there might be somebody in your life that you can trust now that you're back on track, that you can say, if they got me, let me be a guarantor on their credit. You don't have to use their credit. You could just be a personal guarantor. Again, I'm not advising you. I'm just telling you these options are available to you, that you could be a guarantor on their credit. They use their own credit. You don't have to use it, but it's reporting to your credit for a time, and then they can remove you off once you get established. The goal for you is to show the lender that you're financially responsible moving forward. You got to improve your credit score, right? The results is incredible. I've seen people go from 500 credit scores to 700 credit scores in a year. Right. They just had certain things they needed to tweak. They had certain strategies they needed to make, but they have to do it on your own, you guys. You don't want someone charging you thousands and thousands of dollars to settle your debt, to restore your credit. You need to learn how to do it on your own. And if you don't, it may never get established. How many people have you tried to go to get them to get you back on track and it didn't work out? That's because you didn't do it yourself. That's why I'm giving you the education that you need. All right. So here we go. We covered pre-foreclosure. We covered debt settlement tips, credit restoration. And I hope that you found some of this little information to be insightful. Now, if you guys have topics you'd like for me to talk about in the future, or you want me to cover certain episodes, just send me a message at askwhit.com. You could also text me at 980-219-1428. You can email me at wit@askwhit.com. You can go to my website with all that powerful information at askwhit.com. And don't forget, you guys, I got plenty of resources on that site for you to have access to. I want you to make sure that you subscribe to my channel, to listen to it, eventually join my community so we can talk about it. And if you found something valuable today and you want to share it with somebody else, go ahead and do that. Forward all this information to anyone. If you liked something, or if there was something that impressed you, please maybe like it. That kind of helps me out financially as well. If you like my page, one day I might make $1. I don't know how that works. I don't know. I'm just getting started. Remember, this is my first episode, right? So remember this, you guys. Your financial journey is just that. It's a journey. And there's going to be challenges, but there's also going to be victories. And the fact that you're listening to me right now, and it's been 15 minutes, it tells me that you're trying to seek victory, but you just didn't know how to do it. So now you have to study, you have to learn. Okay. And another thing, I got to remind you before I'm gone, you guys, I'm a couple minutes over the time that I want it to be. Okay. I got to remind you, you got to take care of yourself. Your health is more important than anything. So I need you to get 30 minutes of exercise in every day, even if it's just walking, right? Your health is your wealth. So I don't see you, but say it with me. Your health is your wealth. Staying active is one of the best investments you can make in yourself. That's more important than any credit, any debt, any house, anything you could possibly think of. I want to thank you for joining me on this first episode of Whit's Way. Until next time, keep pushing, keep learning, keep building your way to financial freedom. And I'm going to see you on the next episode of Whit's Way. Thanks again. Have a great day. Enjoy your day.